And we are live for week 2 of the 2026 season. This is Anchor Down, the Topsail Pirates football show. This is your weekly port of call for Pirates football. Thanks everybody for coming out tonight. We got a good crowd, and I think we got a pretty good crowd here on YouTube as well. If you're watching this live on YouTube, go ahead and hit the thumbs up, like the stream. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. And get us kicked into that thing they call the algorithm, so we get out there and we get more viewers and all that good stuff. How's everybody doing tonight? Yeah, all right. Well, this is kind of a first for us, Rich.
It is a first for... Wait, are you talking because it's not as hot as it was earlier, not raining, or are you talking about what happened on Thursday?
Well, I was definitely talking about the weather.
Yeah, I agree. It is a beautiful day here in Hampstead, and I appreciate everybody coming out to see us. Anybody want to talk about anything important that happened last week or anything like that? I'm taking suggestions. No? Okay.
What happened? Did something happen?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I guess everybody just wants to talk about the weather.
Well, we did get a win.
Whoa.
Thursday night, at home, under the lights for week 1, our Pirates put it to the Bulldogs from up the road on Highway 17. So we're going to celebrate that tonight. We are going to recap Dixon. We're going to hear from a couple of our Anchor Down players of the week. We are going to preview Croatan, and we're going to get you ready for tomorrow night. JV travels to Croatan to face the Cougars. Can we get these boys a game, please? I need to get these JV boys kicked off here for the season. I wish it would quit raining and lightning and all that stuff. We thought we were going to get to see them play Monday night, but unfortunately, Mother Nature just must not be a North Carolina high school football fan. Am I right?
Yeah, either that or Dixon called in the rain gods to rain that thing out because they saw what was happening during the scrimmages. That's
very possible as well. So anyway, we're going to get to a few things tonight and get you ready to be an informed fan in the stands this week. Before we get going here, we want to thank our host, our presenting sponsor, Oval and Ale, who allow us to come in here weekly and set up all of our junk and do this show. Jamie, Oval and Ale, we appreciate it. Thank you guys. Make sure you get your orders in to the kitchen and get some of that good food. And visit the shack back here for your beverages. All right, Rich, how you doing, man?
I'll tell you what, I'm doing better than I was all 10 weeks last year.
100%. 100%. All right, we're going to start off. We are going to recap Dixon. So we know because of storms last week, a lot of teams across the state had to try to reschedule their games. I'm getting a lot of feedback. You all right over there, Brad? All right.
Are you all right over there, Brad?
Okay. A lot of teams across the state had to play some gymnastics with the schedule, so we did the same. And it's a good thing we did because we got our game in, and there's teams in our conference such as Laney that didn't get to play this week or this past week because they rescheduled for Monday and got rained out Monday, just like our JV did. So good call by the coaching staff and the administration to get that game in. I thought it was an important game to get this season kicked off, Rich.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the game, so we all know, we all saw the game live or have watched highlights since. But the final score, your Topsail Pirates defeat the Dixon Bulldogs 20-8. Topsail would open Coach Albert's era with a victory and improve to 1-0 and start the school year Monday undefeated. Yeah, that's right. This is an interactive program. Let's hear it. I like it.
So, quick question before we kind of dig at that deep dive is, who was closer on the prediction? I had 55-0. You had 40-something to 13.
Yes, I guess I win.
Well, do we want to call it a split? I was closer on the Dixon score. We'll call it a draw.
All right, that'll work.
All right.
I'll take it. I'll take the dub. That's all I care about. Anyway, the win. We all know, and we just got to say it. We're going to put it to bed right here. This is the last time I'm going to say it, and the last time I want it to be heard. The win snapped Topsail's 14-game losing streak dating back to October. All right, I said it. It's over. But let's hear it.
Let's talk about the winning streak now.
That's right. That win also avenged last season's 42-40 overtime loss at Dixon. The game, it started a little awkward. Topsail wouldn't possess the ball in the first quarter. Dixon, first possession, Topsail won the toss, deferred. Dixon received the kickoff, drove down the field, scored a touchdown. I feel like it was like an 8-minute drive. It took forever. They scored, converted on the 2-point conversion, and then they lined up for the kickoff.
Yeah, I kind of go back to what our keys to the game were last week, and it was to shut them down early, us get out to that big lead, take them out of that offense that they run, which is chewing up the clock, running the football, and the exact kind of thing that I was hoping to see was the opposite that happened, where Dixon took that opening kickoff, drove it, was it 93 yards, I think, were able to punch it in, and then the onside kick, and just like Matt said, Topsail didn't have the ball at all in the first quarter, which I don't think I've seen that in a Topsail high school football game in the 6 years that I've been watching. So it's a little bit slower start than I think we were all hoping for.
Yeah, so Topsail enters the second quarter down 8-0, finally get our first possession, and drove down the field and put it in the end zone. Kicked the extra point and trailed 8-7 about midway through the second quarter. And then the defense just shut it down the rest of the night, including the entire second half. Well, really after that first touchdown Dixon had, Dixon struggled to get anything going. They got a few first downs, but defense was doing a good job getting off the field, which was a nice change compared to games past, but. And then, Topsail would get another third quarter touchdown to bring the score to 20-8, and that was all she wrote. Then it was just chew the clock out and take home the win.
Yeah, so I know we'd asked Coach Albert when he was up here last week, or at least I did, about the offense and what he was kind of hoping to run. He threw out, hey, this is how many plays I feel really good about right now. Obviously, there's some other stuff. But he said, I'm hoping to only run 5. I have not talked to Coach Albert, but I'm kind of interested to see how many plays he did have to run. But yeah, the scoreboard may not have reflected the dominance that actually happened on Thursday night. I mean, after that opening drive, our defense, Coach Sharp's defense really bucked up, shut them down, had a couple takeaways, and then our offense, really, we were able to run the ball, and I know we're going to talk about that. And then even if we did get behind the chains, Tyler Vickers was able to find that open man to pick up those those third and long situations to keep the drives going.
Yeah, Tyler had a solid night. He was 7-9, 117 yards for a 119 quarterback rating. I think that's pretty good, Rich.
That's the rumor. That is the rumor.
That was a solid night for Tyler. It was good to see, and I only expect the offense to open up even more from here, so trending up.
Yep, absolutely.
The Topsail offense would finish the night with 225 yards rushing, 117 yards passing, and, just like we talked about, they were able to lean heavily on the running game. Running the ball against Dixon wasn't a problem, and then they just allowed their defense to get on the field and close it out. It was great. Some offensive leaders from the night. Our freshman running back Kyle Albert, in his high school football debut, had a great night, to say the least. 25 carries, 192 yards. That's good for 7.7 yards per carry. Pretty solid work. All 3 of the touchdowns. So great, what a debut for Kyle. Great night.
Kind of reminds me of my first game as a freshman at Polk High back in Chicago. But this was before I started selling shoes. No, nobody gets it. Little Al Bundy. No, okay. Disregard. Too young of a crowd, I guess.
I get it. Good job, Rich.
Thank you.
All right, so Zach Albert, wide receiver, linebacker and wide receiver, but on the offensive side of the ball, he led the team with 70 receiving yards. So a solid night from Zach. A nice grab on fourth down from Tyler to keep the drive alive. It was 4th and long. Tyler threw a good ball. Zach was able to high point the pass, bring it down for the first down.
Yeah, three defenders around him. It was a really nice catch.
Yeah.
Really important catch to kind of keep that drive. That was the second quarter, right? Or was that the third?
I believe it was the third. I could be wrong.
So, yeah, I think you're right. It was the third. And that really allowed us to get that last touchdown to kind of seal the game.
Couple other stats from the offense. Receiving, Aaron Sander was 1 reception, 18 yards. Carter Raitan, 2 receptions, 13 yards. And then Kyle Albert out of the backfield added 2 more with 16 yards. Somebody else I want to point out is number 8, senior running back Luca Vanderlei, who, correct me if I'm wrong, but is kind of filling in a new role this year in the backfield. And he really produced one of our biggest second half plays to set up. It was either, I don't remember which touchdown it was, but it was a long run out of the outside. I think it was WWAY News highlighted that play as one of its top 3 plays of the week. The offensive line, man, just sealed that corner. You just see Barrett Price come out, on his little stunt there and just blow up the linebacker. And then I don't know who else it was. It was either Hunter or whoever it was also sealed the inside, and there was just a gap for days.
Yeah, it was great being in the press box on Thursday because the Dixon coaches were in there and they were just as frustrated as you could be as a coach, just watching and seeing the play from up top develop, and they know it's coming, and they know that they don't have enough hats out there, or we have too many hats out there that we got an extra blocker, we have one more blocker than they got defenders out there, and it was awesome to listen to them kind of bicker back and forth about what their players aren't and or are not doing. So yeah, it was fun to watch. Agree.
And let's hear it for our O-line. Like, wow, what a night for the O-line. Big improvement this season compared to last. I don't mean to sound bad when I say this, but it's been a long time since Topsail's had a game where there was 0 sacks.
Yep. I maybe ever, at least in my 6 years, and the same as false starts.
Yeah, no false starts on the night, and I don't want to jinx it, but no false starts, no sacks.
And I think you and I were talking about it, and I could be wrong. I think there might have been one offensive holding call, but it wasn't at the line of scrimmage, if I recall correctly. It was downfield. So, yeah, the offensive line looked fantastic. Tyler had time back there opening the big holes for whoever we were giving the ball to. Offensive line looked fantastic.
Yeah, a couple holds, and I think they got him for one ineligible receiver downfield, and that was about it. Real solid night by the O-line, and keep it up, boys. Keep it. We're going to need you. Shifting to the defense, what a night from our defense. Just like we keep saying, some of the defensive statistical leaders. Ryan Strickland back there, the linebacker, 12 tackles, led the team. Paxton Lee added 11 tackles. Luca Vanderlei, another 10, playing both sides of the ball. Had several with 8 tackles. Pittman McEwen, Preston Plunkett, Wade Revelis. Wade, is Wade here? No? Wade, I didn't know you could hit like that, man. Wade was out there laying some hits. I mean, hits that made me say ooh or something.
Like, why weren't you playing defense last year?
Like, why weren't you out there? Good night from Wade. And then the whole front seven, man. Solid night.
Yeah, and that is a very tough defense to prepare for, or I'm sorry, offense to prepare for. I talked about it. I can't remember if we talked about it last week on the podcast. But that's the same style of offense that these service academies are out there running, because they may not have the horses to compete against these other Division I schools. And if you listen to any of these other college coaches, they typically say that is the hardest offense to prepare for. So Coach Sharp had those boys out there ready to go. Again, little bit of a slow start, but then after that opening drive, they just shut it down. It was fantastic.
Also, to highlight on the defense, and a young man you're going to hear from here in just a little bit, our anchor down defensive player of the week, Roman Long, defensive back, 2 interceptions on the night. And I don't know if Max Prep's just isn't updated, but he's leading the whole state with 2 right now after week 1, so I'll take it. But his second interception, to me, was one of the biggest plays of the second half. Dixon's down there on the goal line trying to get within, one score, and we know what's going to happen. If they score right there, they come right back with that onside kick. And those things are just weird anyway, so you just never know, right? You just never know. And I think there was like maybe a minute and a half or 2 minutes left on the clock at that point. But
yeah, they would have had time to, if they had kicked the onside and recovered, they would have had time to get down there and try to tie the game.
Yeah, you just never know. But quarterback puts the pass in the air, it's tipped, and Roman just I don't know how he made the catch. I mean, it was like a diving catch over the shoulder, and it's, even though it was 4th down there and the pass, even if the pass falls incomplete, well, now you're backed up at the goal line, right? So then the offense takes over on like the 3-yard line or 7 or wherever they were. But the interception results in a touchback, which brings the ball out to the 20-yard line and gives your offense room to work. And then right after that was a wrap. Kyle took the ball and went about 60 yards, and then victory formation. Let's all go to the house. So.
Yeah, that was huge. I remember we were up there. We couldn't tell if it was an interception or not. I think you had said that it was an incomplete pass. But then we saw the officials put their arms in the air.
It didn't look like he had it. And he just pops up with the ball.
If you rewatch, he comes out of nowhere, dives, makes that catch. It was awesome. And then again, just seeing, being able to bring that ball out from the shadow of our own goalpost, taking away the opportunity, potentially a safety and things of that nature. I know we talked a lot about safeties last year, and the only type we want to talk about this year is the ones that our defense gets.
Absolutely. So yeah, that wraps up our Dixon recap. We'll put a bow on that one and put it in the archives. But real proud of the boys and the way the team played. Can't wait to watch JV follow up that performance with one of their own. So JV will play week 2 tomorrow night at Croatan, and then they'll turn around Monday night, weather permitting. And y'all start doing your weather dances or whatever. But then Monday night they'll play their week 1 game at Dixon. So it's going to be a heck of a few days for our JV squad. And then again, weather permitting, we'll see varsity host Croatan at home Friday night. Rich, anything to touch on before we move on?
No, I don't think. I think the people here are ready to stop listening to us bump our gums, and let's get these boys up here and see what they got to say.
All right. Well, without further ado, we're going to welcome to the stage our offense and defense. Well, let me back up. Our anchor down offensive and defensive players of the week. Number 5, freshman running back, Kyle Albert. And number 2, senior defensive back, Roman Long. How you doing? Good. How are you? Good.
Look, I just flipped the switch.
What's up, Roman?
I don't know nobody else that's doing this. Bodies start to drop, hit the floor. Now they wanna know me since I hit.
All right, how we doing? Grab that mic right there. All right, guys. Go ahead. How we doing?
Oh, we're doing great. We're doing great.
Yeah, good practice today?
Could have been better.
Could have been better. All right. Well, that's the way it goes sometimes. So we're going to start off the questioning, and first of all, congratulations on the big win Thursday night against Dixon. Congratulations on your individual performances. And just to start off the questioning here, and this is for both of you, and you both can weigh in. So we know that you guys got down 8-0 early, right? 8-0. Coach Albert was quoted after the game with the media. He didn't quote this. The media quoted it. He asked the question to Coach. He said that, in the past, watching Topsail go down 8-0 and lose an onside kick, that could have been a wrap for the night. But the fact that the team was able to bounce back and really shut it down and get the win, what is different? And Kyle, I know that you weren't here last year, and this is your first year of high school ball, but you've heard the stories. But can you guys tell me what was different about Thursday night compared to the perception that was out there?
With getting punched in the mouth, I mean, I feel this year is a lot more energy, a lot more buy-in. We're a lot more confident. So going down 8-0, we were still able to keep up that energy. I was down. But I mean, we kept our energy and stayed on our feet, kept pushing, got it done.
Yeah, got it done, absolutely.
Like you said earlier, we were 0-14, and we were very eager to get the win, and everyone had motivation to get the win, and we had a lot of energy, and that carried on throughout the game.
Yeah, it sure did. There was a lot of energy on the sideline for sure. I mean, there's a clip we're going to play here in just a little bit of one of Roman's interceptions, and Paxton's off the field, and he's sitting down, and he realizes that Roman catches the ball, and you just see him jump up. I mean, I don't even know I'm not going to say what I was going to say, but dancing and running as hard as he could. So yeah, tons of energy for sure. Rich?
So, obviously a lot has been made about how last season went and really the end of the season before that. What was it like? The clock strikes zero. Topsail wins a game for the first time in a year and a half. Kyle, your first high school win. Roman, for you, it's your first win in a long time. What was the feeling going through, the thoughts going through your head, the feelings that you had as a player, finally kind of breaking that slump that we've had?
So I came off the field after my second interception, and once I'm finally settled down and I turn back on the game, there's 29 seconds left and counting, and we're in victory formation. And I turned to Elijah, and I'm just like, we won. It was a lot of relief. It was a lot of payoff for all the work that we put in, and it just kind of all hit me at the end of the game. I was a lot of hype, a lot of excitement, a lot of relief, really.
Going off of what Roman said, just very excited. Just really, it's going to be our first one out of many. Just we're going to get used to that.
Awesome. All right, now we're going to actually, no, I got one more for both of you to weigh in on. Sorry. The message all off season was turn the page, new era, new coaching staff, just a new feel around, a new buzz around the program. Now that you've got the first one out of the way, what does this team have to do to prove that it wasn't just one good night?
We can't stop. We can't be content with one win. Got to keep rolling. Can't get too high. Can't get, can't start smooth sailing. It's not smooth sailing yet. We got a lot of work to put in. We got hard schedule coming up. So it's a lot of not being content and just push, keep pushing.
Yeah, we got to keep the energy up, really, and yeah, we just got to keep on pushing it in practice. Can't take the foot off the gas pedal. Just got to keep on pushing.
All right. Rich?
All right, Kyle. So, first of all, congratulations for being up for the Star News Player of the Week. the North Carolina Player of the Week on SportsIllustrated.com, and most importantly, the Anchor Down Offensive Player of the Week. So congratulations.
That's the biggest
on all
one.
of those. That is the biggest one. Did you get your trophy? No, you didn't get it. It's in the mail. Don't worry about it. So, hey, first varsity football game. Almost rushed for 200 yards. You have 200 all-purpose yards, 3 scores. Help Topsail break that streak that I'm not going to say anything more about. Hey, be honest with us. When you sat down, go in that locker room right before opening kickoff, and you were thinking, this is my first high school football game, did you imagine that it was going to go as well as it did?
No, I did not. I was talking to a couple of people before the game. I was aiming to get 2 touchdowns and 120 rushing yards. So I was very surprised about the end result.
So I think next week, or on Friday, when you're in the locker room, envisioning what's going to happen, let's go ahead and envision 200 yards and 4 touchdowns, and then that way maybe it's 350 and 6. Sound good?
Yeah.
All right.
I like it. I mean, I'm not gonna say anything. You good. But if you don't get that, it's okay. As long as we get the win, that's all we're worried about, right?
If you only get 320 and 5, I'm okay.
All right, Rich. All right. Next question, and I don't know really how I asked this, but yeah, coming in as a freshman, right? Typically, freshmen don't see varsity action, out the gate. But, it's got to be a little bit of intimidating factor to come in and play week 1, before you've even set foot inside of a high school classroom. But was there a moment Thursday night, maybe after taking your first hit or, you're breaking your first big run where you kind of sat there, came off the field and kind of looked around and said, I absolutely belong at this level?
Yeah, definitely. Right after our first down, right when I actually started kicking it and getting used to it, I really thought I was good, doing good and ready.
I would agree.
You did all right. All right, Roman. So,
real quick before we move, I want you to just turn around here, Kyle, and we're going to play a couple of clips of Kyle in action on Thursday night, and we're just, Kyle, if you want to just kind of walk us through the play, without giving away any secrets or whatever, just kind of, what you're keying on and what you're looking at as you progress through this play. And I'll kick it up on the live stream here. Here, you take this mic right here and hold it while you look back.
Yeah, really right here. I saw that the right side end came through, and that's really where I was supposed to be running the ball, so I had to cut it back left, and then I saw all the green space to the left, so I just started running, and I see the block right there, so I go cut off of it, and I see all 4 guys just get out of bounds, don't take a hit, and play for another down.
All right, here we go, the next one. You know which one this one was, right? This sealed the deal right here.
Yeah, here I was just following my blockers and just running where no one was, really. Nothing really special about this run right here, I'm going to be honest.
Oh, my bad.
Hey, both those are heck of runs, and I'll tell you what, that offensive line looked fantastic. On Thursday night, rewatching it right now, they look awesome. And then obviously, like we talked about last week, get you into some space, and you're a shifty young man, and you proved it on Thursday night, man.
I got one more question for him.
Yeah, go ahead.
I got to know, when you mess up and you come off the field and you make a mistake, and then you get, you have to hear it from the coach, right? When you make a mistake. And then, as athletes and, all of us growing up, you got to hear it from parents too, right? You're in a unique situation where it's the same guy. So I want to know, who's harder on you, Coach Albert or Dad?
Just remember they're both watching.
I'm gonna have to go with Coach Albert.
You want to? We'll keep that between you and Coach
I wouldn't elaborate on
Albert.
that anymore either.
I like it though. Separating the two. That's awesome. Kyle, before we move on to Roman here, just want to say, I'm glad you're a Pirate, man. What a night! I cannot wait to watch you throughout this season and seasons beyond, all the way up until you become a senior. Just make sure you take it as it is. Stay humble, right? Keep everything in perspective, because with success comes all the fanfare and all the lights and all that stuff they say. But just keep yourself grounded and things in perspective, and man, the sky's the limit for you. So I'm excited.
Hey, make sure y'all get out there and you go to Star News, right? This is the voting one.
Yeah.
Get out there and vote for this young man. Heck of a game. I swear that there's bots out there that are voting for other people. So if you got to spam the vote, because this young man definitely deserves it. Heck of a week, buddy. All right, Roman, your turn. So you're one of those guys that went through last year. Went through the end of the year before. Went out to Richmond 2 years ago for that playoff game that didn't go well either. What does it mean to get that first win in a long time, and more importantly, what does it mean to beat that team from just up north?
Okay, so breaking the streak is like everything to me, but also not enough. Like, I'm not satisfied at all. Like, breaking that streak was huge for the school, huge for the program, huge for the culture. But I mean, I'm not too like, whoa, we beat Dixon. I'm on to the next. I'm on to Croatan. After Croatan, Northside, Jacksonville. So it meant a lot to me, but it's just I gotta look to next week. So
Yeah. Sorry we're taking you back here to week one, but that's kind of what I wouldn't classify this as media, but maybe it is, but that's the way the media is sometimes. It takes you places, in that mind space you don't want to be, but you got to be able to channel it and forget it. But that's a good answer. All right, Roman, let's go to that fourth quarter. Dixon's in the red zone. All right, I'm going to set you up here. It's fourth down. Dixon's trying to make it a one-score game. Ball gets tipped, right? And you just you see it over your shoulder, and you manage to come down with your second interception of the night. Take us through that play from your perspective, and I'm going to pull it up right here so we can talk about it.
okay, all right. Okay, so initially bad. I shouldn't let him inside of me. Bad. But so once he does, and once this ball is tipped, and I see it in the air, my only thought is beat this guy to the ball. Like, I was more worried about him catching the pick and scoring a touchdown, and then I just beat him there. I was really excited.
Yeah, I was too.
Thank you.
I don't know if you could tell. Can you all hear me from the field or no? Like when y'all on the field playing, can you hear me yelling over the PA system?
I don't hear much of anything, honestly.
Okay. Just curious. I was excited in case you were wondering. Rich.
All right, Roman. So you're a senior. Kyle's a freshman. You've experienced probably, if not the lowest, but one of the lowest, seasons that the high school has experienced. As that senior, what kind of role are you taking to make sure that the underclassmen, the freshmen through juniors, are staying prepared, staying focused, and making sure that they don't get too down in the low moments and too high in those high moments?
Just a lot of just putting your head down and working. Like, whether we're winning, whether last year we were losing, just work every day. It can always go up, it can always go down, so you just need to stay consistent and grind.
All right. Well, fellas, we appreciate it. Roman, I try to leave everybody with something when they come up here. Enjoy this last year. You're off to a great start. I know you're going to kill it out there, and once this is over, I'll be watching you wrestle too. This is a heck of a wrestler too, by the way, everybody. Looking forward to that as well. But guys, appreciate it. Actually, you know what? We got one more play. I don't want to forget this one. This is a good pick too. You don't have to talk through it, but I'm gonna roll it here. Not much of that one. It just kind of fell. It kind of came right to you. All you had to do was complete the catch, right? And then they tried to throw a flag. I knew it was bogus too. Rich didn't think it was bogus.
Matt, when we were up in the press box, I was like, I think that was a good call. I think he had him turn, but I hadn't watched the replay till right now, and yeah, I think that was pretty much nothing.
That's right.
Yeah, I think it was a good pickup by the officials, which is another rare thing. Topsail typically doesn't get the benefit of the doubt, so hey, things are looking bright for us this year.
All right. Guys, we appreciate it. Let's hear it again for senior defensive back number 2, Roman Long, and freshman running back number 5, Kyle Albert. Thanks, guys. All right, let me try to figure out this TV here because I had to download this like app on my phone to. Y'all don't care. Rich, talk for a minute.
If you need assistance with the app, you can always ask Sarah, because anytime I need to download an app, I just say I don't know how to do it, and she does it for me. So if you need assistance with that, she can give you a hand. But let's. You just want me to go ahead and roll into the next section?
Yep.
All right, perfect. All right, so let's go ahead and take a preview of Friday night. So Topsail welcoming Croatan. Sorry about that. Both teams undefeated. Very different routes to get there. We know what our boys did on Thursday night, snapping that streak and getting that victory. Croatan went a little bit of a different route. They ended up beating East Carteret 50-0. For those of us that remember last year, Croatan's got some really good ball players that are coming back from that season that went 11-2, reaching the third round of the playoffs, losing to the eventual state runner-up in, was it Hunt? Yeah, in Hunt. Again, they're returning their 2 workhorses on the offensive side of the ball. Quarterback Cannon McBride, who threw for just over 2,000 yards, 30 touchdowns with only 6 interceptions. And then senior running back Andrew Boucher, not to be confused with Bobby.
No relation.
No relation. We checked. I asked his brother last year. He rushed for 1,683 yards last year and 31 total touchdowns. So both those guys are back. Their quarterback is also their kicker, their punter, and I think he was drilling like 55-yarders in pregame last year. So that kid is an athlete. He's going to be a handful for Coach Sharp and his defense this week. Yeah,
absolutely. Hey, this is a measuring stick, guys. Right? So this is a tough week 2 opponent here. Like Rich said, 11-2 last year. They did. I think they have some turnover on the defensive side of the ball, though. So there should be no reason that we can't move the ball on their defense. But yeah, it's a legitimate measuring stick game. We're really going to find out what we're bringing to the table here. And it's at home too, so we got the edge there. So.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the defense, or how the defense performs. A completely different style of offense that we're going to be playing against this week. Fortunately for us, is we did see their offense last year. I know that obviously there's tape out there, but a lot of these boys that are back, Roman, the Triple Ps, all those boys played against this same team last year, so they know what to expect. Now it's just getting out there and executing.
Yep. Let's see here. I think that pretty much wraps up the Croatan preview, other than we just come into our keys of the game here. And again, this is my keys of the game. This is Matt. I thought of these on my own. So take it for what it is. But my key to the games is first of all, don't let Boucher take over, right? This is number one to me by a mile. We got to make him earn every yard, all right? We can't allow him to turn, these 5-yard runs into 40-yard runs and so on and so forth. We got to maintain gap discipline. Defensive front does. And the linebackers. That'll be huge. The whole front seven. If Boucher gets, 180 to 200 yards and, they control the clock and all that stuff, we're going to have problems. I mean, just being blunt about it. We absolutely have to limit, Boucher and make Cannon McBride as uncomfortable as humanly possible. You're not going to be able to just load 9 guys up in the box to try to handle the run. McBride threw, like Rich said, he threw over 30 touchdowns last season, completed 73% of his passes. So we need to get some pressure on him without constantly selling out to the quarterback, because as soon as that happens, the ball's behind us, and it's going to be a long night. But offensively, our rushing attack needs another big night. But we're going to need more than just Kyle. All right, we're going to need to get this rotation going. Luka is, getting Luka Vanderlee getting in there and chipping in, and some of these other backs that are getting some rotation. And then I was impressed with our blocking last week too, by the receivers. That big run that Kyle had that we played up here, and I meant to mention this, but big block by Cam Creech out there, from the receiver position makes that possible, really. And the O-line we talked about, but secondary blocks, even tertiary blocks down the field were key. Need more of that. So let's see where I lost my place here on my paper, but another big night rushing. And then just clean up the mistakes. We didn't have as many Thursday night, but Coach Albert did acknowledge in his post game that we were a little bit sloppy against Dixon in some areas, mental mistakes and all that. We survived those, but Croatan is absolutely good enough to punish you for those mistakes if you make the same ones. So we survived those against Dixon, like I said, but can't happen Friday night. Rich.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, my keys to the game will be very similar to last week. Our offensive line performs like they did on Thursday, and we've got a heck of a shot to win this football game. If this will be the first time that the defensive front four are going to have an opportunity to actually get after the quarterback. Obviously, last week was a whole lot of running by Dixon, so getting Pittman, getting Paxton out there, putting some pressure up the middle. Getting some bodies in his face, maybe getting another pick six by Mr. McEwen like we had last year. That's right, one of those 6 interceptions he did throw was returned for a touchdown by Pittman McEwen, a Topsail Pirate. And then on the offensive side of the ball, control the clock. I mean, this offense and Croatan can score. So the longer we can keep them off the field, sustain those drives, keep it in third and manageable, depending upon, obviously, Coach Albert's going to have his game plan going out there. Execute that game plan, and, again, we should come away 2-0.
Yeah, agree. I think they need to make it an ugly, physical, 4-quarter game, right? Control that clock. Field position battle, all those little buzzwords that you talk about when you talk about football, they're buzzwords because they're important, and so they're going to be important Friday night. But I think the matchup that's going to decide this game, and I think this is maybe not the only matchup, but the biggest, is I think it's going to be, Topsail's front seven against running back Andrew Boucher. If he runs wild,
it's going to be a long night.
It's going to be a long night. But if we hold him somewhere around 100 or less, maybe 130 or less, force Croatan into obvious passing situations, create a turnover or two, those are always good. I think it becomes an interesting game. But there's also another factor that doesn't show up in the statistics, and to me, this is a dangerous weapon, and that's the fact that our Pirates, they have the belief. They have the confidence, and that's a factor that's going to play into this game that did not last year.
Another factor that's going to play into the game this year that didn't happen last last year. And hey, I know that our Pirate Mob travels really well, and we pack the stands wherever we play. But they're coming here this year. We got to be out there. We got to be loud. We got to make sure that they can't hear themselves in the huddle or their coaches on the sideline. I think that if we can hit those keys that Matt talked about, and then us in the stands being as loud as we can, and we can make it a very uncomfortable evening for Croatan.
Bring your friends, bring your neighbors, bring your family.
Bring your cowbells. You'll
Yeah,
never hear me say that again.
I guess. But yeah, bring people out to the game. Let's pack it out. I mean, we had a great showing Thursday night, but Friday night under the lights, legitimate. Nobody's got to work Saturday. Well, some people might have to work Saturday, but if you don't, come on out. And then after the game, come out here to Oval and L for fifth quarter. Jamie keeps the kitchen open till 11, so plenty of time. Order your food from the stands, and then by the time you drive here, it's ready. It's crazy. But anyway, Friday night, let's show up and let's support these boys. All right, Rich, official prediction time. Y'all ready for this? I'm taking the Pirates, and I don't even mean this because I'm a homer, which I am, but I am legitimately, even if I was neutral, taking the Pirates. My official prediction is Topsail 24, Croatan 21. It's probably an upset pick, I guess, if you look on paper from the Max Preps and the limited high school football media that we have here. But Croatan is probably the favorite, I guess. They have a senior quarterback who's proven. He throws the ball to himself. He does everything on that offense. They've got playoff experience. Their high school OT picked Croatan second in their conference as a team capable of becoming a factor in the 5A East. But they've lost. They have a significant loss on defense too. They flipped a lot of seniors off that defense. Which high school OT specifically identified that as well. And that's a major developmental question entering this season for Croatan. So that's the matchup, though, that makes me willing to take this upset, is the fact that, our new and improved offense against this young defense of Croatan. And then, hey, I saw enough Thursday night against Dixon from our defense to feel very confident that we can limit this offense as well. I'm going to say Croatan's going to have a lead at halftime, 14-10, but I'm going to say Topsail takes the lead in the fourth quarter. Defense has to make one final stop. They do so, 24-21 Topsail. Kyle's going to run all over him. I'm going to say 130 yards and 2 TDs. Is that what we said?
Yeah, we'll take it.
All right. And then after that, beating Dixon's no longer the story. Topsail will be 2-0. And then beating Croatan will be the story. Rich, what do you got?
All right, so I'm kind of torn right here. I'm gonna say it's a little bit more of a higher scoring game. I think that Coach Albert opens up the offense a little bit more. Maybe not out of desire, but out of necessity. I think Croatan takes a 2-score lead into halftime, and Coach Sharp really gets the defense amped up for the second half. We're able to shut them down in the second half. Our offense opens it up. We put some points on the board. I'm going to take the Pirates 38-31.
All right. I like it. All right, well, that's our official prediction, and we are going to close it out here tonight with a look around the conference from week 1, just to update you kind of what's going on across the conference. Overall, the conference went 5-1 this week. Ashley picks up a win, 16-12 at Sanderson up in Raleigh. Ashley opened the game down 12-0 and then scored 16 unanswered to win the game. Ashley is at home versus E.E. Smith this week. E.E. Smith from out in Fayetteville. Hoggard travels to Richmond, who we're familiar with from a couple seasons ago in the playoffs. Hoggard picks up the win 27-13 2 touchdown road win against a really good ranked Richmond squad. That's impressive performance if you watch the highlights. Hoggard is at home this week versus Jack Britt, also from Fayetteville.
All right. Laney had their game against D.H. Conley rescheduled for Monday night, but obviously, as we know with our JV team, the weather came in again, and that game has been postponed with a date to be determined. This week they will be at Gardner in Gardner. The lone loss in the conference this week was New Hanover. They went to Newbern and did not perform very well.
Got smoked.
They lost 48-9. And then this week they are at home versus Purnell Sweat out of Pembroke.
North Brunswick had the lowest scoring win in the conference of the week with a 10-7 win over Corinth Holders. They'll be at home this week versus South Brunswick, who we're familiar with from right down in Southport. We don't have to touch on Topsail. We already know what Topsail did and what they're doing this week. And then West Brunswick will close out the conference. West Brunswick with a solid 41-20 win at South Brunswick. They were down 14-13 at half. They pulled away in the second. Ton of scoring in the second half for the win. So, Rich, I think that about does it. Good on time. It's 7:53.
Perfect on time.
Yeah, perfect. All right. Real quick for the team, let's have another big week. JV, I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys got tomorrow night. So we have some material to talk about for you guys next week. So, again, away tomorrow night at Croatan. Let's all get up there and support if you can. Here at home Friday night for varsity against Croatan. And then before we meet again next Wednesday here, JV will be at Dixon Monday night to try to get that game in. So let's all hope the weather holds up this weekend, and so we can enjoy some good football here. We'll be back next week for week 3. That's going to be Wednesday, September 2nd. We want to thank Friends of Topsail Football, all the board and volunteers and members of FTF. Appreciate all everybody does to support our student athletes. Still need volunteers for later on in the season. Get on there and sign up. The sign-up sheet's floating around Sports U, so get on there and do that if you would like to. We got some social media accounts. Facebook, Friends of Topsail Football. Check that out if you're, follow that if you're not. Instagram is at Topsail High Football. We're on X at Topsail Football. Again, tag us if you want us to share anything on your behalf. And then our YouTube channel, who people are tuned in now watching. So thanks, everybody, for coming out tonight. We appreciate it. It was a heck of a week for our boys. Looking forward to a heck of a week this week. Thanks for everybody for checking out our live stream. Just a reminder, give us a thumbs up. And again, Oval and Ale, we appreciate you guys for letting us come out here, everything you do for our program. Rich, you get the last word, and we'll get out of here.
Again, thank you to Oval and Ale. Hey, don't forget 5th quarter after every varsity home game right here. So come on out, enjoy some more Pirate victories. I'll tell you what, Matt, this podcast today is a little bit different than what we have done in the past. A little bit more upbeat, a few more positive things to say. I think that we should continue to operate in this manner. Other than that, hey boys, get out there, get after them. Unfortunately, I will not be there this week to watch the game. Get after them, bring home that, or I guess keep home because we're at home, that victory, and go Pirates.
Go Pirates.